You are now locked in to Crossover Media.
You gonna shoot me in front of everybody? Huh?
Ever sit down and smoke your spliff like fuck, I did some fucked up shit, and the fuck thing is you love that shit. You understand, you take that.
You know why I'm pausing that and I'm wheeling it? Because we were just talking off camera about like what makes people homicidal, and I talked on how, especially how people who are overtly homicidal oftentimes covertly suicidal, and there's a whole bunch of different layers that goes into the what inspires violence, and there's a bunch of things that I'm not finna make this about right now, but we're just talking about like how does a person think or feel in the midst of these kinds of situations. So for him to follow that up, to be like, yo, you ever said that and thought like, yo, that was messed up, I'm just like, you know what, shout outs to you.
Ever sit down and smoke your spliff like fuck, I did some fucked up shit, and the fuck thing is you love that shit. You understand, you take that risk, you take that trip and take that strip. Go on the drill, I don't need the pill to feel that thrill of attempted kills. You jump out gang and heads get peeled. Gang been dumping rounds or block be the dumping ground, no beaker. Sitting in chases trying to Justine, trying to get drops in the rival dealer. Eager down for the cause, not clout, no.
I have the wrong window open. I'm not gonna lie, that flow, we have to wheel that flow back. We have to wheel that flow. And again, I don't know how to put it into words, but this man's Suspect has one of the best flows in drill. I think after this project, I have to give him his respect for flow. The way that he just picks the right parts of the instrumental to land on, to not land on, but still land on it after the fact, and it's, I don't know how to put it.
Take that risk, you take that trip and take that strip. Go on the drill, I don't need the pill to feel that thrill of attempted kills. You jump out gang and heads get peeled. Gang been dumping rounds or block be the dumping ground, no beaker. Sitting in chases trying to Justine, trying to get drops in the rival dealer. Eager down for the cause, not clout on the horse, it's a life, you say me neither. Cause I know about niggas like you, boys in blue, working with the boys in blue. Told lil bro, watch you be round, buzz my put.
I'm assuming the ops wear blue, right? Yeah. I'm enjoying this. I'm wheeling this whole thing back. I'm like, God, this is one of the most wheelable ones that he's had since like this past, the sequence that he's had, right? I think the last one that really kind of had us was Freedom's Priceless. But even before that, I think Caught in the Rain was one of the biggest, like, yo, moments. I'm enjoying this beat a lot, too. It has that almost, like, classic American kind of, like, gangster movie kind of energy to it, which makes sense that they have, I'm seeing here, they have a reference to American Gangster, right? So it has that in there. It has that in there, like that mafia kind of crime syndicate movie thing. Shout out to Brewski K, because yeah, this is definitely already becoming a good way to close the
Ever
project.
sit down and smoke your spliff like fuck, I did some fucked up shit, and the fuck thing is you love that shit. You understand, you take that risk, you take that trip and take that strip. Go on the drill, I don't need the pill to feel that thrill of attempted kills. You jump out gang and heads get peeled. Gang been dumping rounds or block be the dumping ground, no beaker. Sitting in chases trying to Justine, trying to get drops in the rival dealer. Eager down for the cause, not clout on the horse, it's a life, you say me neither. Cause I know about niggas like you, boys in blue, working with the boys in blue. Told lil bro, watch you be round, buzz my poison you. It's around dinner, I got me a spinner. Bangers and mash, that's poison food. You don't wanna eat this corn, then let
Technical, on the technical level, right? Again, the way that he made that flow, it's like almost, if you're not paying attention, it's not on beat. It is. It's like when you listen to it, it's almost like he's on his own timing and the beat is matching him. That's probably more so what I mean. He's on his own timing and the beat matches. He ain't matching the beat.
boys in blue, working with the boys in blue. Told lil bro, watch you be round, buzz my poison you. It's around dinner, I got me a spinner. Bangers and mash, that's poison food. You don't wanna eat this corn, the lead in the tip might poison you. Truck toys in two, just split up boys in two. Drew like I'm chosen to. Avenge my friend is supposed to do that. Real street nigga, I had to go through that. Shed some tears, then jumped in the right, jumped out like who's that? 1 pack, 2 pack. Need me a new pack, toe gang, shoot that.
We're wheeling this verse. But you see what I'm saying, right? Like, the rhyme pattern is very unorthodox. Like how he's rhyming dinner and spinner within, almost damn near within the same line, right? And then he has the ooh, so the you, food, right? Those things are rhyming. He's coming back and rhyming a word that he said 3 lines ago. You know what I mean? It's there's layers to it, and I have to give respect. I have to give respect.
It's around dinner, I got me a spinner. Bangers and mash, that's poison food. You don't wanna eat this corn, the lead in the tip might poison you. Truck toys in two, just
what I'm
split
saying,
up boys in
right?
two. Drew like I'm chosen to. Avenge my friend is supposed to do that. Real street nigga, I had to go through that. Shed some tears, then jumped in the right, jumped out like who's that? 1 pack, 2 pack. Need me a new pack, toe gang, shoot that suit that we shoot, they don't shoot back. Every point that I had to prove, I proved that. Hope that feds don't prove that. Ever sit down and smoke your spliff like fuck? I did some fucked up shit, and the fuck thing is you love that shit. You won't understand till you take that risk, you take that trip and take that strip. Go on the drill, I don't need the pill to thrill that thrill of attempted kills. You jump out gang and heads get peeled.
In terms of flows, this is one of his best ones, in my opinion. Understanding a little bit of the psychology behind people who live in those circumstances and why they do the things that they do, and how they may not even necessarily fully understand. They're just doing stuff. When they're in a situation where it's like, first of all, why would you even want to be alive in a situation like that, right? For on one hand, it's suicidal. You show how little regard you have for your own life and how little regard you have for other people's lives. When in reality, you just don't care about your own life. A piece of being depressed is also not feeling anything, and how these things give you a thrill. Like, it gives them a reason to feel something. So, do I agree with it? Obviously not, but it's given a bit of a humanizing component as to like why people do the things that they do. While it may not make sense to the average everyday person, putting a little bit of the behavior into context.
To throw that thrill of attempted kills, you jump out gang and heads get peeled. I just jing man down for free, like hold that changes, pay me in blood. You don't want to play games with a tug, you play got caught, got stuck in the mud. I just zing man down for free, like hold that changes, pay me in blood. You don't want to play games with a tug, you play got caught and stuck in the mud.
It's insane. This could have been a very experimental project. They could have chopped out some of the traditional drill stuff and made it some all experimental.
Well, it looks like we have come to an end of a thrilling journey. The story is yet to be televised one day, but it will be heard through his art, his craft, and talent.
Wow.
Remember, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Listen more than you speak. Listen more than you speak. That's really one of the main reasons why I'm able to appreciate this music, right? Because I'm listening more than I'm expressing my opinion. I ain't running on the net talking about experiences I don't have. And even if I did, understand that everybody navigates and has those experiences differently, right? So some people are able to escape the road for their own reasons, some people can't for their own reasons. I listen to what these people are saying to read between the lines a little bit more. Because sometimes they're giving you small inklings of things that maybe they can't necessarily flesh out as a full thought, but they give you that one line. We don't talk about drills, they won't love no more. One line that's probably flying over so many people's heads, so they focused on everything else in that song. They say I'm the cause of violence. What's going to change if I keep my silence? In the midst of everything else, it's probably going to fly over so many people's heads. Even the way that this hook goes.
Ever sit down and smoke your spliff like fuck, I did some fucked up shit, and the fuck thing is you love that shit. You understand, you take that risk.
They do have a conscience. They're human beings at the end of the day, right? No person jumps out the womb like chef man, get man down, ying ching, blah, blah, blah. That's not a normal way. You're conditioned by your environment to be that way. So the real questions we need to start asking is, what is so sick in our environment that people are becoming like this? And for those who don't tend to get it, if you know somebody who's suicidal, depressed, whatever, ask them how they're feeling, and you may start realizing there's some overlaps. Even though the behavior may not be exactly aligned, how much different is the person going on a glide to the person who gets drunk and drive? Equal disregard for life and what happens on the other end, but the way in which it's communicated and expressed is different, right? So just something I want to kind of drop out there. I think this is a great way to close this project out. I think there are some tracks on here I could have did without. I think there's so much room for Active Gang now, especially Suspect, hearing the way in which he was able to articulate himself throughout this project in this song alone. I just wish that we could have got some more of that. Like, let me hear more of that.
In general, in like several points in this project, he scratched the surface of different things that he can tap into. Yeah. Which is something that we get consistently on the drill scene in general. Most artists that fit in that scene, we tend to always ask, hey, I see that you're able to get into this point. Yeah. Why don't you dig just a little bit deeper? You might be able to give us something that's just a bit more put together and easy to follow. Yes. From start to finish, I could tell that this was supposed to be meant to be just drill fan service. Yeah. Right? Even down to that one track that we will not mention. From like a musical standpoint, I think the only thing that was lacking was just like an actual attention to trying to create music as opposed to just drill songs. The overall grand scheme of things was heavy lyrically, came with the flows, crazy from like start to finish. Beat selection was great just for him. Facts. In general. I think I would have liked to hear a bit more features on it personally. Yeah, I think, but you know what I will say, as much as I think features will have elevated it, I also don't think this is one of those that's suffering without features. Right. There are times when there are projects that suffer without a feature, especially considering the context of drill. This one delivered and then some. It's up there with anything else that's explicitly drill, in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I think Caught in the Rain, I know for a fact, is definitely a fan favorite, but let me know what's your favorite track off of this one. Let me know how you feel about the project as a whole. And as always, hang tight for some more reactions. I do got more coming for you, but until next time, peace.
Ever sit down and smoke your spliff like fuck, I did some fucked up shit, and the fuck thing is you love that shit. You understand, so you take that risk, so you take that trip and tape that strip. Go on a drill, I don't need the pill to feel that thrill of attempted kills. You jump out gang and heads get peeled.